Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I've had a few people ask me how Clover is getting on with her training. To be honest, she's doing really well now. She's 17 months old and she's kind of been introduced to a bit of everything. She's been on our pheasant shoot, she's been out goose shooting, roosting, decoying and rough shooting. And also I apologise if there's too much wind disturbance, because where I'm doing some training tonight I've got cows to the right and there is actually cows in this field, but I think they're in the one behind, so we're going to stick to this grass field. So I'm going to try and find a sheltered spot. But what I'm going to do this evening is just show you guys some of the retrieves and training she's been doing. Bit of directional training, stop whistle, and just some basic memory retrieves. And it's like I've said before, I'm not obviously a proper dog trainer. I've just picked up hints and tips from some good dog trainers that I know, and Clover's been the first Gundog I've trained, and to be honest I'm pretty happy on how she's coming out. I'd say she's a cockador, as some of you know, but to new subscribers she's a little cockador bitch. Clover, so what we're going to do is what I call the warm-up for her. I'll bring her out to the field, she has a run around, she goes to the toilet, is the politest way of putting it. I'll do a few little dummy drills with her and then we get to it. So this is what I'm going to do, just spend 10 minutes letting Clover have a warm-up, have a sniff, get it all out of her system. Then we're going to start with some of her training she's been doing. Guys, I've had Clover running around for a little bit now. We've just done a few retrieves. I'm just going to show you how I do my directional training. I spoke to a guy and he recommended, like all my training I've actually done, you start off in the kitchen, take it to the garden, and then bring it out to the field. If you can, you want to get the dog sitting at a reference point, starting off and putting one dummy to the right, one hand signal, which always indicates right hand. I say get on, dog retrieves, comes to you, and then that's it. And then you build it up, work on the left hand side, and once the dog is understanding the right and the left, you can sit the dog, one dummy to the right, one dummy to the left, and take it from there. So I'm just going to get Clover to probably sit out a little bit from the field, but if you was just starting the dog out, you'd use, for example, this tree here, get the dog to sit there, dummy left and right. Because Clover's done this a few times, well, let's see how she behaves on camera, but she does understand the drill. Clover, yeah, good girl, good girl. Right, sit up, sit, stay. So all I'm doing is just popping one dummy down here, stay, and then one dummy, stay, to the left. I'm actually not going to force her to sit too much on here because it is quite stubbly, this grass. So normally I get my dog to sit up, but stay. So we've got a dummy to the left and dummy to the right. Now with Clover, she will normally go for the dummy I've just put down, so that'll be my left hand. So I'm actually going to send her to the right hand. Clover, get on. Good girl, yeah? Oh, no, here. Good girl, stay. So then what I'll do, instead of sending her straight on, I'm going to take her back to where we started, which is the middle point, so the reference point. So here, here. Good girl. Sit up. Good girl. Who's sat now? Stay. So then I back off to my point. Get on. Then I'll send Clover to the left. Good. Hey, here. Good girl. So that is a breakdown of the directional training. So let's see if we can do one more with her. Here. Good girl. Sit up. Oh, good girl. Stay. So once the dog is used to it, you can kind of, let's call it, forget the reference point. Stay. You can just put your dummies out to the side of them. Stay. You can increase the distance if you want. Get on. Good girl. Here. Here. Good girl. So I'm going to take her back to the start. Good girl. Sit up. And then I'll go back out. Get on. Good girl. Well done. And then also, when your dog is used to the left and rights, to send them back, I put a dummy to the left, to the right, and one behind them. So Clover's signal, leave it, for example. So we're pretending she's in the reference point, we've got left and right. I just simply go back, and my arm is going out forward. So that indicates to her she has to go back. Good girl. Good girl. So I'm going to give her 5 minutes rest, and then what we're going to do now is the stop whistle. This one is a stop whistle, and I was told by a Gundog trainer that the stop whistle is probably one of the most important commands you can teach a working dog. Not only do you want to obviously stop the dog, for example, picking up a certain bird or leaving a bird, obviously leaving rabbits, deer, you know, obviously should be livestock broken, but you know, it's just to stop your dog in its tracks in doing something you don't want them to do, even simply as crossing a road. If you see your dog bolting towards a road, you want to stop the dog. So he said to me, you want to train the dog young. So naturally I started in the kitchen, and I first started off having the dog sat in the kitchen, calling her to me and stepping forward with my hands like that whilst blowing my stop whistle, and then garden, field and working field. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate today is, say a bird's been shot over there, I've sent Clover, but another dog has gone to retrieve it, and then I want to stop Clover and pull her back. But on the case we're going to do today is pretend there's a shot bird over there, I've sent Clover, I've stopped her for whatever reason, and then actually let her continue on the retrieve. So Clover's sat up there, bird gone down over there, Clover knows where it is, get on, and she's stopped. Soon as I've put my whistle up and my hand up, and she's looking at me for the next move, and she doesn't know if she's going to be called back or sent back on. So in this case I am going to send her on. Get back. Good girl. Here. Good girl. So that is why I used the stop whistle. Then we're going to do another one, and I'll see if I can get her to come back to me. So dummy out. Clover's know where the dummy is, so I'm going to send her, but then I'm going to call her back to me, but I will on this case send her back out to it. Get on. I'm going to call her back. Here. Good girl. Here. So this is the case of if there's another dog on it, but she has come back to me. But get on. So I'm actually going to send her back out for the dummy. Good girl. I'll admit, with the coming back to me one, I mean, she did stop and obviously come back, but to come back properly to heel, we are still working on. I've just been getting her to get out, stop and retrieve, but she does come back to me. So what I'm going to do is give her another 5 or 10 minutes just to catch her breath, and then we're going to work on introducing the dog to cold game. And obviously now we're in July, I haven't got any cold game left, but I have got a pheasant pelt. I'll explain that in a minute. To introduce a dog to feathered game, or cold game as they call it, you'd normally obviously get a pheasant or a partridge, depending on your dog's breed, age and how much retrieving they've done. But I started Clover off with a partridge that a chap kindly gave to me. He gave me a few braces of the partridge, but I kept one aside for Clover. It was a nice small good feathered bird, perfect for her to start on. As soon as she got the bird, retrieved it, that was it. She knew what she had to do. Then obviously throughout the working season we've picked up pheasants and a few pigeons, but with a young dog and even some older, more experienced dogs, with pigeons, as you guys know, the feathers come out really easy and it can put a dog off. So I've tried my best for the early stages not to give Clover too many pigeons. But like I said, as we're in the summer and cold game is very limited, I actually got one of these, and it is a pheasant pelt that's been cured. So obviously it's a real pheasant, been skinned out and cured, and all you do is wrap it around the dummy. And this one fits over her £2 dummy really well, and it just obviously gives the weight of a cockbird. And again, this is a good way to start them off on actual feathered, going from the textures of a canvas dummy to feather. So again, all I'm going to do with this one for Clover is just get her to sit and stay. I'm just going to put this out in the field, and this is the way you can kind of start them off. Again, not perhaps so much in the house, but in the garden, just placing it out and sending the dog on it. It may take a few attempts for them to get used to it, because it's a different feel for them. Go back. But then you normally send them out, they'll pick it. Good girl. Here. Good girl. Straight to hand. And again, when it comes to feathered game, I didn't push Clover. I'd done a few drills with her dummies, and then I put the partridge out in the centre, and the very first time she went to it and come back as if to say, what's this, Dad? What have I got to do with it? But then with a bit of persistence and persuasion, leave it. She grabbed it, dropped it a couple of times, but then when she figured out she had to pick it and bring it back, that was it. And she has done some good retrieves actually on our shoot, on some pheasants, and again she has retrieved pigeon. So again, I've just left it out there. She knows where it is. Sit up. Go, sit. Come on, stubborn. Sit up. Sit. Good girl. Get on. And she can just go out now and go and collect it. Good girl. And the only thing is with this pelt, it can slide off a dummy, which kind of puts her off. So normally, see, it's coming off, but it comes with elastic bands, which is brilliant. And I say it just slides off. You can dry this out for a day and then reuse it. But for a starting aid for a dog, I think it's brilliant, to be honest. So like normal guys, give me a like and subscribe, and this is just the update on Clover's training. And thank you for the guys who have already liked and commented on our crow shooting video from yesterday. That was a pretty epic day. But I will do some more videos on Clover's training as the year goes on, and we're going to do a bit more shooting in a few weeks. So I'll see you soon guys.